Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hollywood Cine Mysteries. Today, we are going to explore the dangerous world of the 2020 action fantasy movie Monster Hunter, a film that takes audiences into a mysterious universe filled with gigantic creatures, survival battles, and a fight between humans and monsters. The movie is inspired by the famous video game series created by Capcom. Instead of following the exact story of the games, the film creates its own adventure while keeping the main idea, a world where powerful monsters rule the land and hunters must survive against them. The story begins in a remote desert area where a group of soldiers is searching for a missing team. The team is led by Captain Natalie Artemis, a skilled military officer who always stays calm during dangerous missions. While traveling through the desert, Artemis and her soldiers discover something unusual. They find mysterious footprints and signs that another group disappeared in this empty land. Before they can understand what is happening, a massive sandstorm suddenly appears. But this is not an ordinary storm. The storm hides a strange secret. As the soldiers move through it, they are transported into a completely different world, a world unlike anything they have ever seen. When Artemis wakes up, she finds herself alone in a strange desert filled with unfamiliar landscapes. Her communication equipment is destroyed, and she has no idea where her team has gone. At first, she believes she is still on Earth, but soon, she discovers that this world follows completely different rules. The biggest danger appears when a giant creature rises from beneath the sand. This terrifying monster is known as the Diablos, a huge horned creature with incredible strength and speed. It attacks without warning, forcing Artemis to use every survival skill she has learned. The battle becomes a fight between human intelligence and a creature that seems almost unstoppable. Artemis tries to escape, but the monster follows her through the desert, destroying everything in its path. This scene introduces the main idea of the movie. In this world, humans are not the strongest creatures. They are the ones trying to survive. After escaping the monster, Artemis discovers that she is not alone in this strange world. She meets a mysterious warrior, known only as a hunter. Unlike Artemis, the hunter understands this dangerous environment. He knows the monsters, their behavior, and how to stay alive. However, the first meeting between them is not friendly, because they cannot understand each other's language. Both believe the other person is a threat. A tense fight begins between Artemis and the hunter. The battle shows the difference between their fighting styles. Artemis uses modern military techniques, while the hunter uses traditional weapons and knowledge gained from years of fighting monsters. Although they are enemies at first, they slowly realize that they must work together if they want to survive. The hunter explains that this world is filled with enormous creatures, and humans live in constant danger. The monsters are not just animals. They are powerful beings that control the environment around them. As Artemis explores this new world, she begins to understand that returning home will not be easy. Meanwhile, the hunter knows that their biggest challenge is still waiting. A much larger threat is approaching, and surviving this world will require more than weapons and courage. Because in the world of Monster Hunter, every shadow can hide a deadly creature, and this is only the beginning of Artemis's journey. Artemis slowly learns that this world is completely different from her own. The hunter explains that the monsters are not just wild creatures. They are powerful beings that dominate this land, and every journey can become a battle for survival. For Artemis, the biggest challenge is adapting to a place where her modern weapons and military training are not enough. In her world, she was trained to fight human enemies. But here, she is facing creatures that are stronger, faster, and more dangerous than anything she has ever encountered. The hunter decides to teach Artemis the rules of this strange world. He shows her how to track monsters, understand their movement, and recognize signs of danger. During their journey, Artemis discovers that the hunter's skills come from years of experience. Every weapon he carries has a purpose, and every movement he makes is based on knowledge of the monsters. Slowly, the two warriors begin to respect each other. Although they come from completely different worlds, both share the same qualities: courage, determination, and the will to survive. As they continue their journey, they encounter another terrifying creature known as the Nerscylla. Unlike the powerful Diablos, this monster attacks using a different strategy. It hides in the darkness and uses surprise attacks to capture its victims. The creature creates another dangerous situation where Artemis and the hunter must work together. This battle teaches Artemis an important lesson. In this world, strength alone is not enough. Survival depends on teamwork, intelligence, and understanding the enemy. After escaping the Nerscylla, Artemis and the hunter continue searching for a way to reach a mysterious tower that may hold the secret of the portals connecting both worlds. During their journey, Artemis begins to discover more about the hunter's past and the struggles of this world. The hunter reveals that his people have spent generations fighting monsters. For them, these creatures are not legends. They are a daily reality. Meanwhile, Artemis realizes that the strange desert world is connected to her own planet. The monsters may have a way of crossing between worlds, creating a threat that could affect both sides. Their mission becomes bigger than simply finding a way home. They must understand a connection between the two worlds and prevent dangerous creatures from spreading beyond this land. As they move closer to the tower, they face one of the greatest challenges of their journey. A legendary monster appears. The powerful Rat-Halos, a flying creature known as one of the most dangerous monsters in this universe. The arrival of Rat-Halos changes everything. Unlike the monsters they faced before, Rat-Halos controls the sky and attacks with incredible speed. Its strength makes it almost impossible to defeat using normal methods. Artemis and the hunter realize that they cannot win through force alone. They must use strategy and combine their different fighting styles. The battle becomes a test of everything Artemis has learned since entering this world. She is no longer the same soldier who arrived alone in the desert. She has adapted, learned from the hunter, and discovered that survival requires more than confidence. But even after surviving these battles, a bigger mystery remains. Why do these portals exist? Who created the connection between the two worlds? And can Artemis find a way back home? As they approach the final stage of their mission, they prepare for their most dangerous encounter yet. Because in the world of Monster Hunter, the biggest battles are always waiting ahead. As Artemis and the hunter move closer to Mysterious Tower, they realize that their journey has become much more dangerous than they expected. What started as a search for survival has turned into a mission to protect two different worlds from a powerful threat. The tower is not just an ordinary structure. It is connected to the strange portals that allow creatures and people to travel between worlds. Artemis understands that these portals are the reason monsters can reach different places, and finding the truth behind them becomes their final goal. However, reaching the tower is not easy. The most dangerous creature they have encountered is still waiting for them. The legendary flying monster Rat-Halos appears again, creating one of the biggest challenges of their journey. With an incredible speed, powerful attacks, and ability to control the sky, Rat-Halos becomes a nearly impossible enemy to defeat. Artemis and the hunter know that fighting alone will not work. They must combine their different skills. Artemis uses her military experience, while the hunter uses his knowledge of monsters and ancient weapons. Together, they create a strategy to survive the battle. The fight shows how much Artemis has changed since arriving in this mysterious world. At the beginning, she depended only on her training and weapons. But after everything she experienced, she learned that adapting to a new environment and trusting others are just as important as strength. After a dangerous battle, Artemis and the hunter managed to overcome the creature and continue their mission. But their journey is not over. When they reach the tower, they discover that the connection between the two worlds is much larger than they imagined. The portal system has existed for a long time, allowing different creatures to move between these worlds. Artemis finally gets closer to finding a way back home. But she also realizes that return to her old life may not be the only thing that matters anymore. The world she entered is filled with danger, but it is also a place where she discovered new allies, new challenges, and a different purpose. The hunter and Artemis have developed a strong partnership. Although they come from completely different backgrounds, they understand each other through their actions rather than words. The movie ends by showing that the danger from the monster world is not completely finished. A new threat appears, suggesting that more powerful creatures and more battles may come in the future. Monster Hunter is not only a story about fighting giant monsters, it is also a story about survival, adaptation, and learning how to overcome impossible situations. One interesting fact about the movie is that it brought the popular Capcom video game universe to the big screen, introducing audiences to famous creatures, weapons, and elements inspired by the original games. The film combines military action with fantasy adventure, creating a unique world where humans must fight against nature's most powerful creatures. From a mysterious desert storm to the final monster battles, Artemis's journey shows that courage is not about having no fear. It is about facing unknown challenges and continuing forward. This was a dangerous and mysterious world of Monster Hunter, a journey where humans are not the hunters at first, but become survivors in a land ruled by monsters. Thank you for watching Hollywood Cine Mysteries. If you enjoyed this movie recap and the fascinating facts behind Monster Hunter, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications for more amazing Hollywood movie stories, hidden facts, and cinematic mysteries. Stay connected with Hollywood Cine Mysteries, because every movie has a story, and every story has a mystery waiting to be discovered. See you in the next adventure.